Let's create a budget. Let's get out of debt. Let's build wealth. Guys, welcome back to the channel. So I'm hoping to finish out this series in this video, so I might try to talk fast. You know, you always start off, but there ends up being a lot of information. So I just wanted to kind of go over this, exactly how this would be done. So understand that the way I think of this and the way I set this up is you would check your bills once a week. You pick one day out of the week. And before we even get started, there's one more field we need to write in here, and this is transfer to your line of credit. So there will be what's called a required checking account amount, and then there will be transfer. And this will be transfer to line of credit, and then we have the required checking amount. So we know how to merge and center this, and let's put, doesn't matter what color, let's do kind of an off green. We'll just do that for both of these. Let's make this gray. Let's go right there, change that to black. Okay, and this field, what this is, and I don't really like how it's touching there, but that's fine. So what this field is, now I look at this kind of like, as you start to do this, as you start to understand things, this is going to help you tremendously. But for now, the required checking account amount will be equal to the sum of our payments here. So this will be actually equal the sum of these categories right here. So let's make this the transfer to the line of credit. This is a lot of payments here. Well, we'll actually transfer to the line of credit is going to be, we need to actually add one more field in here. So if I hit the back button, it'll erase this because I don't like this here. So let's move this. Let me just do it here. Okay, so we need to actually enter our check amount, and I'm gonna abbreviate this, but you can do it however you want. Let me just write this as checking. That's our checking account. This is the required, and this is the transfer. Okay, so, and let's get this in here. Again, this looks better if, you know, we don't have it all on one page, but I really wanted to try to get this all on one page, that is, without having to scroll through here. Okay, so let's make this narrow. Okay, that works. So, and I'm just going to make the transfer amount is going to equal what's in your checking account minus the amount you're required to keep in your checking account. So let's just assume we have 8,000 in the checking account. The required amount that we need to keep the checking account is going to be equal to our expenses. And this is where it will differ. Right now I'm just going to put this, well, we better put the whole amount to get started. And this should again be the sum of these. And then you can click that real quick, format currency, and then let's, okay, so this is going to help you. This is kind of where the velocity banking part kicks into place. And this is keeping it safe and put it in this format. Okay, there we go. Okay, I just wanted to show y'all that. Add this over here. We'll get into it. Okay, so we understand the way this is set up is we're just going to pay our bills 1 day a week. Pick 1 day out of the week that's the best day for you. It can be Saturday, it can be Sunday, it can be Thursday. It doesn't matter. You pick 1 day out of the week. So the way this works, you come in here, you're going to understand that the reason we have this all over here, this is on auto pay, so we don't have to worry about it. It's going to be paid anyway. So let's say we pick, Wednesday. So every Wednesday, we're going to come in. The first thing we're going to do is we're just going to go down the list. So we're going to log into our Capital One card. Even if it doesn't say anything's due, we log in and we look from, let's say Wednesday was the 1st, and it's next Wednesday right now, so it's the 7th. So we're going to look from the 1st through the 7th, and we're going to see what came out during that week. So if the water or trash came out, it's on auto pay, so you'll see it just on there. You'll click yes. If the cell phone came out, yes. I mean, what are we doing? We're not paying these bills. It's easy, it's simple, but we just still want to make sure that we don't run into any errors, just in case, you are understanding velocity banking, you're working towards a line of credit. You don't want any late fees or due, anything to come up, and stuff comes up all the time. So we check the actual payment itself doesn't show due, but we're seeing what came out. And then, say this came out. Now, on the 1st of every month, the bills card, we're gonna pay this card off. So, or the 25th, we'll pay it off. I would pay this on the 1st of every month. You don't have to change. You can leave the due date when it is. I would actually make this due date like the 5th or something like that. Because what this is you don't want to get confused here. You want to pay this card off exactly. This is opposite. This should be this is the bills card. That's why I like to have that in there. So you want to make sure that you're only spending $7.50. So I would go from the 1st to the end of every month and pay this card off. So you make that payment. So let's say that let's just pretend it's the 1st of the month, right? We're going to pay this card off in full, and we're going to click yes that it's been paid. Make sure it's due sometime after the 1st so you can start over every month. So we'll check Wednesday, that one's done. And that's the Discover card we were checking for these bills. This right here is no longer really needed. It's just here. You don't have to check yes or nothing over here, because that only indicator, it needs to be this one for the budget card. That's all that. Make sure that all budget is taken care of. You paid this card off on the 1st. And we'll go in, you log in, you literally, as you're going down this list, I would probably just, the Discover card, we checked it already. We leave it no because we haven't actually paid it yet, but we do confirm that these bills came out. And then the mortgage, you'll literally log into your mortgage and pay it. Once it's paid, you hit yes that it's been paid. Now that's when you're in there paying it, you can update this if you want to balance value if you want. And then, it's the 1st. We understand that this is what I do, and this is my thought process. If you're logging in on the 1st, you look at the next date. So that next date, I personally, whenever a bill shows due, I pay it. So if the 5th, the bill is showing, you go in, you pay the Citibank, you pay the minimum payment. Make minimum payments on everything. And then the American Express, it's not due to the 8th. It's the 1st. The next time I'm checking the bills will be next Wednesday. It's the 7th. But just for me and the way I do it, this bill is already going to be showing due. You technically could pay it next Wednesday, but I would just go ahead and pay it right now. So you pay that, right? That's it. Then you come in on the 7th, the next Wednesday. You come through the next Wednesday, you're going to check, Discover card, the bills. There's nothing going to be due because we started off at the 7th. And then you just go down the list. Nothing else shows due. That's it. You don't have to do anything. And then the next Wednesday on the 14th, you'll come in. You'll go down the list again. You'll log into this one you don't have to log into. This one you only need to do once a month because all it's being used for is your budget. you'll log into your Discover and you'll look, you'll be like, okay, from the 7th through the 14th, what came out? And you're just verifying. That's all you're doing. You're just verifying that this came out. Now the due dates here, just because if you, let's say you got to internet and this is the only one left, right? Let's say everything came out already. Really, you don't even need due dates in here, but everything has came out. You're like, man, why haven't my internet come out? And you can see, oh, okay, it's not really due until the 26th. So you can kind of be expecting it. That's the only reason this is really here. And you'll see once you start doing this, but it's kind of there to get you, you know, if you're like wondering why something hasn't came out, you can easily glance over and say, oh, okay, that usually comes out around the 26th. So, you know, you look through, you marked off everything, and you also see that your Discover bill is due. You can go ahead and pay that. Then you would check to pay this off. Now, you'll go down the list, you'll log into your card, you'll make that payment. Yes, it's been paid. And then, you know, you pay yourself whenever. And then these two still haven't came out. The next Wednesday, you have nothing left. Everything's been paid for the month. These two, you're going to log into your Discover card just to verify that these has been paid. And you would check that. And that's pretty much it. And then what will happen is if you have tabs at the bottom for every month, you would do that. If not, once all these are paid, you can copy one of these no's, paste it down because you're done for the month. Do this, paste it down, and then you could just change this into the next month, January, and you're good to go. You start all over again. Now, at the end of the month, let's say that, you remember in the other video, in this diagram here, we have our line of credit. If you don't have a line of credit right now, use your savings account. Use creative imagination. Understand your savings account is your line of credit. So you have one of these two. And so once all of these bills are paid on that Wednesday and you're done for the month, you enter what your new checking account says. It does the math for you. Let's just say you have $6,130 left. So it's going to tell you transfer 1,000. So that's where this 1,000 is going to go into your line of credit, or it's going to go into your savings account. Now, if your line of credit is paid off, then you're going to chunk from your line of credit to debt. So, you know, if you still owe on the car, and let's say that's a $5,000 line of credit, you're going to chunk $5,000 to the principal, and this never changes. You just, every month you still do this, you send the extra money to your line of credit. If it's a savings account and you don't have a line of credit yet, think in your mind before you start this, just start off with $2,500. Just think of that as your line of credit. The 1,000 will go into your savings account or your line of credit. And if that makes $2,500, you'll chunk $2,500 to debt, and then you'll start the process over. If this 1,000 goes into your savings account and your balance is 1,000, you do nothing. The next month, you know, after you do this, you have, you know, 1,370. That will transfer to your line of credit or to your savings account. Once your savings account hits 2,500, you chunk the whole 2,500 to debt and repeat. Now, people may argue with this too on the fact that that money is just sitting in the savings account. Well, you know, we haven't even put an emergency fund in here, and that's, now that I'm doing this, we should have emergency in here, but that savings account is kind of like your emergency fund up until the time that it's maxed out. Once it's maxed out, it will go, you'll chunk it to debt, and you'll repeat that process over and over. If you have questions on that part, let me know. But that's basically velocity banking and how, you know, to integrate it into this. So I think, guys, basically once a week, come through, verify, just go down this little list, you know, and this list is just, once you check in your Discover, you'll just check off from the first to whatever day it is, whether or not these came out. You know, the rest, you make the payment on its due date and you go from there. So guys, I hope this gave you a general idea on how you can create a spreadsheet, how to have a couple of little extra fields that help you out every month, help you understand the process, a way you can pay bills by maximizing, you know, maybe cards that were just sitting there that wasn't being used, you know, that you can use it and get those little bonuses. Every little thing helps, you know, especially when you're trying to do something like this. So I hope you found value in this. If you did, I would appreciate a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, I know there's a lot of my people that watch this channel hasn't subscribed. It really do help the channel out. It helps to push this out to more people so that they may be able to learn something, pass it down to their family and their future generations. So again, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.